Good morning. Ever since I took office, people have been curious about who I am. Not in the usual ways, not in the ways a CV could communicate the arcs and contours of my academic career, not in the ways a biographical sketch could fill in the blanks. People are curious about who I am, what matters to me. Because you are here this morning, I want to share something with you that almost no one knows. I want to tell you about my very brief career in reality television. Now, when this happened, it wasn't yet called reality television, it was called Romper Room. And the premise, if you are unfamiliar with the program, was simple. It was preschool-aged children singing songs, playing games, and learning lessons with the help of a cheerful and compassionate teacher. There was also a bumblebee, Mr. Doobie, who modeled good manners. And for 41 years, yes, 41 years, this program delighted young learners, including myself, across the United States. So it was 1975, and I had just turned 5 and was very excited to soon be heading to kindergarten. And my family lived in Georgia at the time, and my mother somehow had landed me a spot on Romper Room. And so that Monday morning, we arrived at our local television station, and I took my place with the other children. And things got off to a good start. I could sing songs, I could play games, I could definitely learn lessons. And thanks to my parents, my manners were impeccable for a 5-year-old, of course. And then the puppet show began. And at first I was enthralled, sitting very still as the story unfolded before me. But my curiosity soon begged questions. How are these things moving? What was happening back there, beyond the curtains? What wasn't I seeing? So I began to wriggle in my seat, and eventually I left my seat and went backstage. And my cheerful and compassionate teacher intervened, and I was returned to my seat, and I was returned to my seat again, and again, and again. And even unscripted local television has its limits. And with good humor and truly no hard feelings, I was ejected from Romper Room. And so, I had forgotten most of this episode until earlier this year. My mother, Claudine, passed away just before commencement. And soon after, I found myself sorting through things that she had saved over the course of her rich, rich life. And I found tucked among her papers, actually it was right next to her college diploma, my Romper Room diploma, affirming that I was, and I brought it today. I was, and I quote, at all times a good doobie. So here it is. So this object is one of my mom's belongings, and the object is also evidence of my mother's belonging. And I think of her, an immigrant woman, less than a decade into her life in the United States, a young mother, a college student, navigating an unfamiliar landscape for the sake of an opportunity for her daughter. I think of the time and effort she must have devoted to getting me on that show in the first place. And I think of her pride and her joy in her achievement and my achievement. So this is my first day of school without my mother. And I share her with you to celebrate her and also so that you may come to know me better. So who am I? Obviously, you can read it right here. I'm a good doobie, and I hope to be a great colleague to all and a great leader for all. How did I get here? propelled by belief in the power of education, the power of curiosity and ideas, the power of attentive and industrious work, instilled in me by my mother and father, nurtured in me by my teachers and my mentors. When I helped at Move-In Day last week, I loved seeing families who had never set foot on our campus before, who had never really even been here or anywhere like here. And I loved seeing parents and siblings sporting their Harvard gear, brimming with pride and joy at their newfound association with this place and all that it means in the world. And I thought about those belongings, about their belonging, and it reminded me of just how much our work and this place matter for more lives than we can count. Harvard is not just for her students, not just for the people who are fortunate enough to be considered members of our community. Our reach, our embrace, our obligation is wider than that, and can and should be wider still. Each of us has a hand in deepening the connection between our mission and our society, and that connection is what matters to me. And every year brings fresh opportunity to renew that commitment. So thank you for sharing this time with me this morning, and welcome to the first day of school, and welcome to a new semester.